everyone, and welcome to our ebook launch for The Beautiful Face of the Invisible Illness Masking the Pain We Endure. I am your host and the visionary today for our episode of course, getting our book to Amazon bestseller. So, we are asking today that you help us get to Amazon bestseller by downloading our ebook. And I'm going to put up the banner here so that you know where to download and where to go to download our book. I am going to be talking to some of the co-authors in this anthology today, talking about their invisible illness and why they decided today, or why did they decide to join our this project, right? So many of us are, I don't only would use the word suffer in silence, but so many of us have some illnesses that are invisible to see by the human eye. So I knew as the visionary, the purpose of the beautiful face of the invisible illness was to show that there is a community of individuals who show up professionally. They show up with a smile on a day-to-day basis. However, some of us have some invisible illnesses that no one knows about, right? So this was the purpose of this platform in creating this particular anthology. And I am so thankful to the 17 other authors or co-authors that have partnered with me. And because of them, we were able to have an amazing book launch back in Maryland last weekend. And now today, it is our Amazon bestseller. So if you are watching today, please make sure you are interacting with us. You can put hashtag live or hashtag replay if you're catching the replay after. And we're asking that you download our ebook. The link, of course, will be in the comments shortly. I'm going to have someone put that in there for us so that you can start downloading our ebook. If you can, after you download, put in the comments done so that I can personally thank you for helping us get to Amazon bestseller. So I'm not doing this today by myself. Again, I am joined by some of my amazing co-authors. So as I call their name, I'm going to be introducing them and bringing them on stage with me so we can have a dialect about their invisible illness and why did they decide to join this project. So first, I'm going to call on Millicent Driver. I'm going to have her join me on the stage. Hello, beautiful. How are you?
I'm good in you.
I am good. I'm good. Let's get the rest of our co-authors on here and we're going to dive into our conversation today. So next, I'm going to have Dr. Blanche Farish, who's going to be joining us. Hi, Dr. Blanche.
Hi, greetings and God bless.
All
Hi.
right, all right. Let's get this party started right with Kanaya and Shania, mom and daughter duo. I love it. I love it. Hey ladies, you look absolutely beautiful today. And then last but certainly not least, we are going to have Elder Charlene Belton, who's going to join us today. Hi Charlene, how
Hi,
are
how
you?
y'all doing today?
Perfect, perfect. You ladies look absolutely beautiful on the screen here with me. And I'm going to take down this little ticker right here because the way my perfectionist self is set up, that just did not sit right. So I am going to go around the room just asking quick questions so that our audience members can get to know a little bit about you. So of course I'm going to start with Millicent and then Dr. Blanche, Charlene, and then of course Kanaya and Shania. And I'm going to spotlight you ladies. And if you can just tell me a little bit about yourself, your chapter title, and why did you decide that now was the time to share your story? So Millicent, I'm going to start with you.
I'm Millicent Driver, and I am an author, a coach, and a speaker, and a podcaster. And I was interested in this project for so many reasons. My chapter is Mind Over Matter, Life After Illness, Embracing Life After Illness. And Mind Over Matter, the reason why I chose this particular title was just really the push and the motivation to just keep going in spite of my illness, just to rise above. And I looked at the whole idea of mind over matter. Sometimes we have to, what we think is, and what we believe is who we become, and that's been true in my testament. So I thought that sharing my story will really motivate and encourage others who may feel that their illnesses are stopping them from moving forward and going and accomplishing their goals.
Talked on mute. Thank you so much, Millicent. I'm going to go now to Dr. Blanche, and you can take yourself off of mute. Let us know your chapter title and why did you decide now to start sharing your story?
Hello, everybody. The title of my chapter is Courage is Contagious. And my goal was to tell the world of my courageousness and hoping that it will help others to tag along with me. So I'm talking about how I struggle with fibroids, and many women today, especially Black women, struggle with fibroids. So I hope that I will give them the courage to let them know that they're not alone and to bring joy into their life.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. Blanche. And now I'm going to go to mom and daughter duo. Take you guys off of mute. And one at a time, just let me know your chapter title and why did you decide now to share your story?
Hello, everyone. My name is Shania Gunter. I am a cerebral palsy advocate, a motivational speaker, and an author. My title name is Finding My Identity in the Creation of Me. So living with cerebral palsy is a big challenge for me. I have to wear AFO braces to help me with daily, like walking and, muscle tightness in my legs so I can become strong in my legs. And so I want to give back to the community, be that resource, be that advocate, let people know that just because you were born with something, that don't stop you from doing what you need to do for everyday life.
Love it. And mom?
Hello, everybody. My name is Kanaya Gunter. I am a community health worker, nutritional health coach, and a myositis advocate. And I also advocate for cerebral palsy. So my title is Living on Purpose. I want to be able to bring some attention and make a little bit of loud noise and be a voice for my disease, which is very rare, living with myositis. It affects 50,000 people in the United States of America. So it's very rare. So I wanted to be able to join on into a tribe of women that can be able to help not just empower me, but help me along in empowering others, teaching others to advocate and be proactive in their health, and to be able to show some resiliency there, empowering other women to stand up for themselves and to be able to connect those dots early on in diagnosis.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And Elder Charlene Belton, please come off of mute and let us know who you are, your chapter title, and why did you decide now to share your story?
Hi, I'm Elder Charlene Belton. The name of my title is To Breathe Again. I decided to share about asthma because a lot of people take breathing for granted when it's really a gift. And just to bring awareness to, just because a lot of people say, oh, they just have asthma, but it is a necessity to breathe, and to bring people mindful about wearing so much cologne and perfume and things that could trigger a person. And you never know who has asthma because it's a hidden disability.
Exactly. So Charlene, I'm going to stay with you since you are on the screen at the moment, and then I'm going to go round robin. And can you tell us of a time where a moment had happened that showed how you had to overcome with strength because of your illness?
Well, I was working and a girl wore some perfume that shut me down, and I had to overcome being in the hospital for 3 weeks in intensive care, not knowing if I'm going to live again. And that was really dealt with my mind, and it really can make you depressed about not knowing if you're going to be able to take your next breath. But I had to overcome that through my faith and knowing that it's just God hadn't called me just yet and it wasn't my time. And
Amen
just
for that.
keeping the faith is what got me through that.
Perfect, perfect. Well, I'm glad you are here and able to share this story with us. And next, I'm going to go back to Millicent. Can you tell about a time that you had to show courageous strength through your invisible illness?
When I had multiple strokes, the ischemic stroke. And what happened was is that when I would go out in public and I had to handle my business, I would, no one would know that sometimes it took me a minute to collect my thoughts or to remember certain things. If they asked me too many questions at one time, I got frustrated, and I just will avoid going out, and it would really hurt my feelings because I'm like, okay, you know, they ask me questions. I'm standing here and I'm looking stupid, and they're looking at me like, what's wrong with you? But I, refused to give up. So I just said, okay, before I go out, if I got to write something down, if I have to prepare myself ahead of time, I'm gonna go and I'm going to just show up and I'm gonna be present. So that's what I did, and I had to have the mind over matter because I wanted to give up, so many times because I just could not. It just seemed like I just couldn't get it together. I was so frustrated, and I just, and because they couldn't see the physical effects of it, they, just look at me. They didn't have the patience, and I would just avoid. But I pushed myself to keep going and to just keep showing up out there, and eventually I became more confident in myself. So if I do take my time or stumble a little bit, I'm okay with that, So I get past that rough patch.
Nice, nice. I'm so happy that that happened. And Blanche, I'm going to come over to you now. And can you tell us of a time that your strength had to come in really well because your illness was taking over?
Yes, when I found out because of the fibroids, they had grown so big that I wasn't going to ever have kids, and having kids, that's something every woman wanted to have. So when I knew I had to have the hysterectomy, I just felt like it was taking a lot from me as a woman. But that's why I decided to tell my story, to help others, out that may be going through the same thing. So mainly I got tired of people asking me why I don't have kids. They looked at me like something was wrong. So I said, well, maybe I'll tell my story and they'll see why I don't have kids. So
Exactly. Exactly, right? Now they know why. So I'm going to come to my mom and daughter duo here. And whichever one of you all want to start first, just tell us, how did you have to overcome an obstacle because of your invisible illness?
Well, I'll go first. Living with cerebral palsy is really hard for me sometimes, but I feel like growing up being ashamed, hiding, me from not putting my braces on, that was hard. But now I know that wearing my AFO braces is very important to keep going. So I can be able to be strong in my legs, and so I can be able to, be independent. So I won't have to depend on my family members or anybody to help me, get up the steps or, able to, function like a normal person could. And so growing up, that was hard for me. I was dealing with mental health and I was really sad. And I used to question God, why you allow me to be born with a disability? And so now I'm able to give back to the community, able to research and let people know that no matter what you've been born with, you can overcome anything you're going through.
Beautiful.
All right. So, in my case, living with an invisible disease that's very rare, I don't look like what I'm going through. So, when I do have the skin rashes, the open lesions, the big nodules, or what they're called calcifications, I have had some people come up to me and actually ask what is going on with me. That did kind of like play a big part in have my self-esteem a little bit low and not wanting to step out there and be built with high confidence. And from the tripping and the falling, that turned into now me being on disability. So I do in most cases and have had some cases where I have struggled in a lot of areas in my life and some don't seem to understand it. And how I overcame some of this good stuff is I say, you know what? God has gave me a gift and gave me some talents. So I want to be able to not just give back, but I want to be able to show up and have some good passion about what I'm actually doing out here in the world. And that has built my confidence over time and gave me a little bit joy back. And now I'm living a life of purpose, doing the things I love to do and encouraging others.
Perfect, perfect. And I'm going to leave you ladies on the screen, right? So we can get into our next question. And thank you to our viewing audience at the moment. Please comment, let us know where you are listening and learning from us from. And then, of course, I've dropped the link in the comments so that you can click on there to download our ebook. And in the comments, just say got it, right? And just give us support so that we can definitely thank you for downloading our ebook today. So, can you all tell me, or what I would say, because I know we're coming there, can you share some encouraging words to someone who is living with an invisible illness and they may not be able to talk about it, right? Just give them some encouragement today of why it's important to A, share their story, and B, letting them know that they're not alone in this.
I have an encouraging word,
Okay.
and I noticed everyone talked about God. So we
Yes.
all have that faith in God. So for everything, there's a reason, and for everything, there's a season. And God is not going to put too much on that you cannot bear. And I'm that living testimony that He did not put too much on me that I couldn't bear, although I thought He was punishing me.
Right.
But trust the process.
Trust the process. I love it. I love it. Melissa, do you want to go next?
Yes. Encouraging words. I felt like Dr. Blanche, when I was going through, because prior to me actually knowing that I was even having the strokes, some months before that, I lost my son. So, you're already feeling like, okay, I lost my child, and, you just feel like, why is this happening? So the pain and the heaviness was just so strong. And then to turn around and wanting to really, now get back to really having my life. So I thought then the illness came, and I just could not understand why this was happening. I didn't know. I just said, Lord, if you could take me through all this, you must got something that I need to do. So, but yeah, it still he gave me the strength to look at what I've been through as a way to leverage on it, as far as sharing with others and to being a blessing to others. So that's where I get my joy, my peace, is being able to encourage someone who has lost someone, to be able to encourage others who may be dealing with illness, or just something that seem to be blocking them from their life. So I said, if I'm going to be a vessel, then I'm glad God chose me to be this vessel. If I have to go through it, then I'm going to give God the glory, in the midst of it. So that's where my encouragement is just things in life happen. Everybody goes through something, and everybody that I can even think of has experienced loss in some sense. So it's not an isolated event. But at the same time, we have to encourage each other to keep moving and to keep pushing. And that goes the same with illness. We all battling something that maybe no one else knows. So it's just nice to just be able to be kind to one another, to be supportive of one another, and to know that God has not forgotten us, and that all things work together to them that love the Lord.
Amen. Amen. Charlene, I'm going to come to you next. Can you share some encouraging words?
My encouraging words is to get up every morning and give God the glory, because you never know when you're going to take your last breath, and to love one another and to be there for one another. Because I asked the same question, God, why me? And the answer I got was, why not you? So since I'm here, I want to be a light in someone else's life and to help them to get through whatever it is that they're going through. And my encouraging word is just keep the faith and keep God first. And when you keep having bronchitis or whatever, advocate for yourself, and just don't believe it's just only bronchitis, because sometimes it can be asthma, just as it was in my case.
Amen. That is so true. That's so true. Shania, Kanaya, I'm going to come over to you all, and please share some encouraging words to our listening audience.
Well, I would say that God created us all to be fearfully and wonderfully made, and I want to encourage a young person out there or a person that's going through or suffering with mental health or anything. Let them know that God is on your side. You know, He won't put nothing on you that more than you can handle. You gotta understand that when He allowed us to go through some things, it's teaching us to be strong and to work on ourselves. So don't give up and know that you got a purpose behind you. Keep pushing, keep thriving, because better days are coming for you.
Amen. Amen. Kanaya.
All right. So I just want to be able to, I'm speaking out there now to those that are feeling down, that feel like, life just feel like throwing the towel in. Know that there is greatness inside of you. You are more than your diagnosis, whether you're living with lupus, fibromyalgia, myositis, um, it could be scleroderma, sarcoidosis, or any other invisible illness. Know that you are more than a conqueror. You are a survivor. You are a miracle. And I encourage you to keep the faith, keep fighting, keep pushing, and keep enjoying life. Live a life of purpose.
Oh, I love that. Live a life of purpose. I definitely love that. I'm going to bring us all back together really quickly. Thank you all so much for the encouraging words. You definitely blessed my soul as well. And again, thank you to all of our audience members that are listening in. I see so many people commenting on my page. So thank you all so much for listening. Again, the goal today is to make sure that we can get to Amazon bestseller. So if you can continue to share our broadcast, share our message, as you can see, these are just some of the amazing, beautiful ladies who joined me in this anthology, and they are relentlessly sharing their stories even outside of this anthology. They're advocates, they're business owners, they do so many different things and wear so many different hats, but yet still live with an invisible illness. So we want to give them the pleasure of saying we are Amazon bestsellers as well. So I'm going to put the link again in the chat, making sure that you all are downloading our ebook. So that we can reach to Amazon bestsellers. So, ladies, not because I'm here with you guys, but I wanna know, how was, two questions. How was your experience in this particular anthology? And what was one memorable moment within this anthology that you can share with the audience? And Kanaya and Shania.
Well, I think the moments were engaging. We had our groups, and you did a wonderful job with coaching us along and holding our hand, and just embracing us just as an individual, and pushing us to encouraging us. But one moment that I really enjoyed was the health summit. It was my first time joining in on the health summit. I got to see some of the ladies and hear their stories and just have an in-person feel. Beautiful, beautiful connections, the network with these women. I know it goes beyond this book. So I would say that, yes.
Perfect. Kanaya or Shania.
I would say I thank you, Miss Nadia, for putting this project together. You're a phenomenal woman of God. I really thank you for allowing me to connect with you. But I will say, joining this book, it allowed me to meet new people, people that are down to earth, people that, got life experience. And then it allowed me to get to know more about different illnesses and different things that I never heard about. And so I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you again.
Absolutely. Blanche?
Yes, Miss Nadia, you have such a soft voice, and you just made me feel so good when I didn't feel good about myself, and I didn't think really I was good enough to do this book. And when I wrote my book, I'm like, I hope she liked my writing, and I got all them edits. I'm like, but you just gave me confidence within myself. And then each of the co-authors, they were so nice, smiling, I really felt good about it. And I felt good that I can finally tell my story, because I never told anyone about this before, because I felt like it was really embarrassing to me. So I just thank everyone and I love everyone. And now I'm writing more books. I'm happy. So thank you.
You got bit by that anthology bug. I
Yes,
see. I see,
yes,
right? Once you write
yes,
one, you always want to partner and do
yes.
something.
I feel important now. Thank you.
Absolutely. You're more than welcome, and you are definitely very important to the project as well.
Thank you.
Millicent.
Can't come off with. I will say that the project has been absolutely amazing, and I will say that as a visionary, Nadia, you have taken care of us in a way that, I mean, I was new to anthologies, but you have raised the bar to the point where the way you have taken care of us, you know, I'm looking and I'm like, they're gonna have to match that energy and the way that professionalism and just the creativity of it. I mean, it was just amazing, and I feel blessed to just be a part and to also be connected to all these beautiful women that I've met. I mean, I just feel like the relationships are just going to grow. I feel like I have a family, and I really not feel like that you are a jewel, and I feel like you are a sister. I feel we. Just feel that. I feel that connection with the women. I feel that connection with you. And so it's been a beautiful journey. One thing that really stood out to me, besides, of course, my beautiful sisters, was the amazing promotional video. Every time I see that video, I get emotional because like I said before, you took care of us, and that video is just it. The way the music and the pictures, how they all go together, all those things are intentional. And I see that, and it really touched my heart because I know and I see the vision that was made. I see the purpose of that video, and I received the message, and it really touched my heart.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. Charlene.
With me, it was being able to connect with other women that have invisible illness and to be able to pour into one another without you always pouring out and no one is never pouring into you. I really enjoyed the summit and being there. That was my first summit, and it was also my first time writing for someone else to read. I normally write in my journal. And so that was really a blessing to me to just get it out there and to let people know that our illnesses are real,
Mm-hmm.
and they need to respect us.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, and it's been a blessing writing with you and pushing me along because I'm
Yes.
normally in a shell. I don't really talk a lot, but I was thankful for that.
Absolutely. I was so honored because most of us were either first time authors or very shy people. And remember the first time I met with you all, I was like, get ready to be visible. Right, our illnesses are going to be visible. We're going to be able to talk about them, and this is we just did the Health Summit, surprising you guys with magazines next week. Your magazines are finishing up this weekend. I am super excited to start sharing the magazine portion of this anthology. You all look so beautiful in these magazine features that are coming up. And as you know, I try to represent you all as best in a light as possible. I am thankful for, again, each one of you all partnering with me. I thought I was the only one living with an invisible illness that no one can see. And of course, I know everyone talked about their invisible illnesses. And of course, mine is hypertension. I have chronic high blood pressure. Sometimes it does land me in the emergency room because it gets so high. So I am on daily medications that I have to take in order for me to be able to get through my day, right? Because as you know, as not even just a female, but entrepreneurship life can be stressful as well, right? And of course, stress for us, I know for us, stress will enhance our illnesses in a certain type of a way, right? So that's why we always talked about, especially in the summit, know your numbers, know your signs and symptoms. Go to the doctor when you're not feeling well. Don't just do home remedies because you feel like, oh, it's just a headache. Let me take an Advil. But if that headache is persistent on a constant basis, you have to go to the doctor, right? So I want us to just be able to give based on our illnesses. So for myself, it's know your numbers, especially high blood pressure. It is known as the silent killer because we all don't really check our blood pressure unless the doctor says, hey, you have high blood pressure, right? But for me, I'm encouraging the viewers today, if you don't have a blood pressure machine at your home, they're inexpensive at CVS or Walgreens or any local pharmacy, that you can keep that blood pressure machine at home and check your numbers. It does not hurt to check your numbers, your family numbers. That's just showing more love and care for your family as well, right? So my advice, especially for checking high blood pressure, is knowing your numbers. So ladies, I just want you all to give a tip, right? Maybe it's a sign, maybe it's a symptom, a tip of knowing, wow, I may have X, Y, and Z. What should I do? Right? So just a quick tip, and I'll go around the room again. I'm about to say, Charlene, you can definitely start us off. What is a tip to help us know or learn about asthma?
If when it may start as allergies, and if
Mm.
something starts to aggravate your allergies and you feel yourself getting a little short of breath, you may need to check on that.
Shortness of breath. And good thing you said that because now is allergy season, right?
Mhm.
Especially right now. So we always think, oh, I'm just scratching my eyes or taking a deeper breath or anything like that. But
Mhm.
what I hear you say is make sure we check that as well, especially if it is happening on a constant basis. Great. Perfect tip. Perfect. Millicent.
Sorry. My tip is, if something feels different, take heed. When I had a sharp pain, a couple of times I had a sharp pain shoot through my head, and it wasn't consistent. It just was quick, and then it went away. And at that particular time, something was happening there, and I had to understand what was some of the symptoms of a stroke. So really, take heed. You really pay attention to the symptoms of having a stroke, saying like the confusion, being like, kind of lethargic, maybe, a slight headache, all of those type of things, that would make a difference in your treatment. So if you get to the hospital at a certain time, they kind of help, possibly reverse some of the effects of the stroke. So really look at, the symptoms of stroke and start to try to identify them. So if you have certain pains and, certain feelings, you won't be caught off guard. I just think that should be a protocol. Just study some of these illnesses, period, and just kind of, like you say, just kind of keep an eye on it, like you with your blood pressure or something,
Mhm.
and just kind of, understand, because stroke is a silent killer as
Yeah,
well. Just know,
absolutely.
just know. Yeah.
Absolutely. So there's strokes run in your family, Millicent?
You know what? Not in my immediate family, no.
Right.
No,
Because I know most people think of, well, if it wasn't my family, then maybe it's passed down to me, right?
right.
Or, oh yeah, I'm not going to end up with a stroke or anything because no one in my family had a stroke, right? And that's why I wanted to shine a light on that because it might
Yes.
start with you, right?
But you know what?
Mhm.
And with mine, something they was looking to try to figure out. I had anemia, so they said sometimes when you don't have enough iron, or you may, the blood gets sticky. And if you don't take care of that, it can cause a lot, because the blood is not having enough iron to move. So that could, so it's so many different reasons why one illness can lead into something totally different. So that was the whole thing with me. We was just trying to figure out what is really going on. So when I went into
Right.
the hospital, I had to have 2 blood transfusions, and when I came out, I had to have a whole thing of iron infusions. So yeah, so that's why I said it's kind of, it's one of those things you just got to research. And I didn't realize that until after the fact, because I didn't take it serious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Perfect. Thank you so much for that. Kanaya, Shania, any tips on your particular illness? What signs and symptoms should we be looking for? How can you guide us?
Well, I would say due to my cerebral palsy, I have a problem with like standing up too long, and so I'm talking to those that got cerebral palsy, like or any born with any type of disabilities that if you stand up too long, make sure you have your brace on. When you're cleaning up, when you're cooking, whatever, put your brace on. Do them leg exercises to keep your mobility going. And growing up that was hard for me, but now I know that it's important to wear my braces so I don't have to keep going to physical therapy or try to get strong in my legs. So make sure you put your braces on to get better and get strong um in every parts of your body.
That's good.
All right. So the one thing I would say, coming right behind you guys, is definitely know your numbers and do your own research. I know sometimes Google can lead us in other places or whatever, but just the self-awareness part, some symptoms, and I'll just mention some. Heavy fatigue, feeling like you're being hit, is a heaviness that you just can't shake. To those rashes, sometimes we might just think that it's allergic reaction, but it could be much more than that. Difficulty swallowing, which is named for dysphagia, which causes a lot of muscle restriction there. It tripping and falling. It comes with those symptoms. Do not avoid. Please pay closely attention to what's happening, and be able to ask for help. Ask
Mm,
for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And also, just learn about taking a more of a holistic approach, because with living with autoimmune diseases, we do have some foods that trigger our flare ups. So just being aware, doing your own research, and most definitely self care. Self care.
jumped into my next question. I feel like you were in my mind, Kanai. I feel it. I feel it. That was my next question, and I'm gonna stay with you and Shania, and then go back around the room. What is one thing that you do personally for self care? Because especially coming from the summit, we talked about, especially with us, right? We have to be able to self care for the things that we're going through as well. So, what is some things that you do for self care?
First, now you can go.
Well, number one thing that I do, I make sure I take my walks. I make sure, I write in my journal. Make sure I'm doing what the physical therapist tell me to do, all my exercises. And I just, take care of my mental state. I pray, I read my word, and I make sure that I'm mentally strong in my mind to do the things I know I need to be doing.
Nice. So journaling, right? So we're gonna journal. Okay.
So some of the things that I do for self care, most definitely, I'm not afraid to connect with online support groups or go in person to support groups, because they get it, they understand it. So joining a community, a tribe that actually has relatable disease that I'm actually experiencing. I love acupuncture. You hear me talk about taking a holistic approach. I get the treatments, but at the same time, after the treatments, I want to continue to feel good and look good in my body. So acupuncture, along with massage therapy, and still writing in my journal too. And speaking those affirmations is very important, along with praying it out. Always.
Absolutely. So I wrote down journaling, acupuncture. I mean, I'm a little afraid of needles, so I look at it like, I don't know, guys, but I hear that it can relieve some stress.
Yeah,
So I may have to try that one.
try it. Yes,
I
try
will.
it.
All right, Blanche, is there something that you do in particular for self care?
Yes. First of all, I get up and pray every morning, and I have my cell phone set. So every so many hours, it say it's time to pray. So I pray. Most of the time, I pray. The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want. I pray that a lot during the daytime, and then
Mhm.
I learn to love myself and accept myself for who I am. And then like someone else said earlier, I do daily affirmations, I meditate, and I do chair, stretch, yoga exercises. And I join a women's focus group with my church. We women with problems. So we go through books that other people wrote about other things. Like we just went through CC Wine and book. She did wrote a book called Believe for It, and we went through that one. And I just make myself happier every day. So, you might not believe it, but I actually listen to Christmas music every day. Even though it's hot outside, I have the YouTube on snowing, different things that make me happy. So sometimes it's summer, but I might want winter. or fall. So that's what I do, and it makes me happy every day.
Oh, I love that, Blanche.
Yeah.
I love that. Didn't
Yes.
see we learning things from each other. I'm
Yes.
definitely going to
Yes.
try that for sure. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Charlene.
I usually, like you said, I get up and pray in the morning. I listen to my gospel music, meditate. I like to go outdoors and just sit in my rocking chair and just rock and just get in touch with nature and just appreciate that. And I also have a therapist that deals with people with chronic pain. And I speak with my therapist, and that helps. And I try to keep my mind, body, and spirit lined up because
Mhm.
if one is out of order, you're out of order. So I try to keep that lined up. And like I said, take care of myself. I play with my dog. He keeps me happy, and he loves me unconditional no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Your dog does. And me and him are in here all day by ourselves because my husband is at work. And I like to go to the movie and take walks and just be at peace
Mhm.
with
Absolutely.
myself. That's what I like. And
Perfect.
that's taking
Perfect. I
care of
like
me.
absolutely. Millicent.
I swear I can't ever come mute. um, what I like to do, I love music. I love music. I love music that's positive music and gospel. So when I'm listening to music and I'm just, reflecting on God, and that's my happy place, just
Mhm.
worshiping, or just could be jazz music, just something that's just makes my soul feel, good, and positive. So I love that. And I love to write and be creative. A lot of times I write things. I got journals everywhere, books that I write, just writing stuff. And, eventually want to pull all that stuff together one day. But whatever, I'm constantly writing or constantly thinking of ways to be more creative in my business and music, whatever. And so that's my happy place.
Yes, yes. And for me, I think I dabble in a little bit of each one of what you all saying, except for acupuncture, but we're gonna try that later, right? But definitely music for me. Um, quiet moments resets me to be able to handle just life in general, right? So whenever I feel that overwhelming feeling, because again, we all as entrepreneurs, we're moms, we're 9 to 5s, we have all these things going for us. Um, family we have to keep up with, things of that nature. Sometimes just being quiet to reset myself keeps me going, right? I know you guys see me on, social media. I'm doing different things, and there is a moment where I have to, or my body will say to me, Nadia, sit down,
Mhm.
rest. You have no other choice, right? And I know, as you know, especially for me, one of the advices that I had to even give to myself was listening to my body, right? Listening to my body to know when it was that right time to rest and when was that right time to get up and move, because I was always on a consistent going, trying to get things done, right? So always, and I remember, I would talk about Hope when she said, and I'm trying to encourage myself to do this, when she says, I'm just going to take a nap when I'm tired.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's time for that. Remember, she taught us that in the health summit, which is so true. And I know, like 9 to 5s, we can't really nap during the day. Right? I wish they had nap time during the 9 to 5, right? But they don't, right? I was telling one of my friends the other day, when we were in daycares and stuff, and the teacher would say, "Oh, go take a nap," and you'd be like, "Man, I don't want to take a nap. I want to play." Now I'm like, I wish my boss can just say to me, "Nadia, go take a nap." I will take that and not even complain, right? But definitely resting no matter what illnesses that we are going through, listening to our bodies and resting is going to help us push through, on a day-to-day basis. So I know we talked about ourselves and what we do independently, and I know each one of us are surrounded by family. Family has, I know for myself, family has been the support system that I needed, right? Especially if I'm sick or in hospital, things of that nature. Things still needed to get moving, right? I'm a mom of one, so my son still needed to be taken care of and stuff like that. So, how important was excuse me, your family role as going through these illnesses? Can you tell me how important was the family around you, and how did that help you? So I'm gonna start with who wants to go? uh, okay, Blanche, go ahead.
Um, when I had my hysterectomy, and I actually the day before the hysterectomy, I went to the doctor. I said, I'm not doing this. I don't want to do it. He finally encouraged me. But to make a long story short, when I had my hysterectomy, my sister, who like she's 2 years older than me, she had one at the same time. I was like one day before her,
Wow.
and that kind of helped me as well because we both had one at the same time.
Mhm.
So she was my support system.
Oh, nice, 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 nice. Millicent, family support.
Yeah, very, very much so. My mom, my husband, my daughter, I have sisters and I mean we and a brother. We are very, very close. So when that happened, everybody was right there, with me, for me. At the time my dad was living, and I was in another, like, a state over in the hospital. He came out there to see me. My mom, even my grandmother, she's 99. So at that particular time, she was in her early 90s, I think, or late 80s, one of the two, but she was right there as well. So it was always this close knit family, and we just, whatever I needed, they were right there. My husband encouraged me, because I would sit on the floor and just cry, and he'd just let me cry.
Yes.
And I get up, and then we'd be like, "You all right?" I'd be like, "I'm okay."
Right.
So it never bothered me, and if I had to cry, he just let me go over in the corner and cry. So
Yeah.
so that's that support that they let me be myself, but at the same time, my mom, she wouldn't let me, stay there. She'd be like, "Okay, now it's time." So,
Sounds like my mom, right? My mom is like, okay, you get about maybe 24 hours, right? But we got to push through
yeah.
to the next, because then that leads to depression and things of that nature, right? So we all have that crying moment. It does not make us seem weak because we're going through something. We are going to show, our emotions, but I know for us 17, we definitely get up after and we push through, and we are successful at what we do. Okay, perfect. Kanaya, Shania, we're mom and daughter team. I know you guys support one another, but what does family support look like for you?
I thank God for my family each and every day, and living with my cerebral palsy, they taught me how to be, more independent. Know how to do things. Take your time. Walk slow. Don't rush. And so that family support helped me mentally, spiritually, and even some days where I'm like, I don't want to put these braces on, but they're like, no, you got to put them on. We gonna do this today. What you doing? And so that right there, that really helped me to say, hey, put my braces on. It's a part of my health, and it's a part of my identity. And this is how God created me to be. And so that family support system helped me to, to deal with everyday life.
Amen. Amen for that. Kanaya, Shania.
Well, family support, definitely, you just heard her. So I was a mom in illness with a child with illness. So we had to have family support in all areas of our life. So having to have mom, grandma, and sister, and father, and everyone step on in. Some days I wasn't able to drive myself to be able to get treatments or be able to walk in the kitchen to be able to fix foods and stuff. So they definitely stepped in right in time. I'm a true believer. A family that prays together, they stay together. We've been sticking it out. And I love my family, and I'm so thankful that they stepped on in, and they stepped in right on time. So most definitely family support, and finding any support system. Some might not have family support that's near. And you don't have to do it solo. Ask for help and find some type of support, even if it's in the church or friends next door.
Amen. Amen for that. And Charlene.
Definitely my husband and my children. They have been really my support system. And I have friends that also used to be in the hospital with me with asthma as well. So I met people. So I have a support group with friends that have some of the illnesses that I have. So we were able to depend on one another and to pull each other up. And also the joy of just seeing my grandchildren makes me want to keep going because I want to see them, grow up and graduate and get married and stuff. So I just can't give up.
Yes, that's like our why, right?
Yeah.
Family and our kids and just being able to say, I'm not going to lay in the bed and be depressed about this, because I have people who depend on me or accountable to me, right? And we want to show them our strengths, and having them supporting us is definitely helpful for us as well, right? So we definitely want to the message that we're putting out right now is yes, you have family and friends who you can surround yourself with. Don't feel like you have to be going through this journey by yourself or no one understands you or no one understands your illness. You are not alone in this. You have 17 other authors, right, that I'm putting you in front of that you can reach out to for support as well. So I'm gonna pause for a second because I want to make sure we have some new followers and we have new people that's watching as I'm looking at the live. So today we are asking that you help us get to Amazon bestseller, and you can help us by downloading our ebook and going to Amazon. The link is on the screen. It's the bit.ly/theface24, and you can download our Amazon ebook, and that will help us get to bestseller, because I want to make sure that these 17 beautiful ladies can wake up tomorrow morning and say, I wrote a book, The Beautiful Face of the Invisible Illness, and I'm an Amazon bestseller. Okay. And I just want to touch a little bit about in the comments. We do have Jessica Holloway who is saying, congratulations, co-authors. You all are so courageous to share and be transparent with your invisible illness. Thank you for sharing your story. We have Verna, one of our co-authors who's watching with us right now. She is telling us, congratulations to all my co-authors. Well done. This is an incredible piece of work. And of course, shout out to the visionary. So thank you so much, Verna. We have my cousin all the way from England, and she's going to help us get to international bestseller in a few, right? So thank you to my cousin Asha, who's listening in from England. We have Angie Mitchell. Thank you so much. We had Angie, who was our moderator for our panel, did an amazing job, right? So thank you, Angie, so much. And she says, got mine. So if we don't have one person that downloaded, we know Angie Mitchell did, right? And I know we definitely have some downloaders for sure. And Dr. Laxley, and of course, Joan T. Randall is watching with us. And let me talk a little bit about our publishing company, Victorious U Press, who was absolutely amazing to work with. And I'm not biased because I'm the graphic designer over there. I absolutely know she is an amazing publishing company, Victorious U Press. And she held our hands through this process. She knew I was a first-time visionary. So she held my hands through the process so that I could make this experience very well for our co-authors. The editing process went well. Our uploads went well. Everything was great. So if you're ever wanting to share your story and you want someone to professionally do that with you, I highly recommend, of course, Victorious U Press. So thank you, Joan, for watching on with us. Because of you and helping me, we were able to get our books uploaded and things of that nature. And of course, we have Dr. Laxley, who's looking in with us as well. And I know I've shared this link on so many different pages. We have so many different views. So thank you to everyone who is looking and watching. If you're catching the replay, you still have time, right? We have until midnight tonight, but don't wait till 11:59. Okay, like you see this this broadcast, just please download our link. Again, it's bit.ly/theface24. will take you directly to our ebook link. And you can just click on the Kindle version. Okay, that's what we're looking for today. Again, you can support by purchasing the hardcover book as well, but today is the Kindle version that's going to help us get to Amazon bestseller. And I want to wish everybody a very happy Don't worry, I'm back. I am back. See, this is how I know we're going to be Amazon bestsellers. The enemy has just been too busy to figure we were going too well. But we're definitely back. We're still live. So we're almost at the 1 hour mark. So I definitely want to respect you guys' time. So I'm just going to go around the room really quickly. And of course, you all can give a thank you message to our listening audience. So Charlene, I'll start with you.
I would like to thank all of you for watching us today and hope that we were able to give you some information that will help you along in your journey of whatever illness you're dealing with. And may God continue to bless you.
Thank you, Charlene. Blanche.
Thank you all for taking time out your busy schedule to tune in with us. And I pray that God bless you and your family.
Thank you very much. Millicent.
Just want to thank you all for taking the time out to hang with us today. And I just pray that if this message has been, any of these messages have been a blessing to you, that you apply them to your lives and that you encourage someone else with these messages that may need to hear them. And we again just thank you for just joining this live with us and just hanging out and having fun with us today.
Perfect. Thank you. Kanaya, Shania.
Okay, thank you guys for listening to us today. I hope these words of encouragement and every story that every woman shared today will bless you. I thank you so much, and I hope heaven smile upon you. God bless you.
All right, so thank you guys for joining on in with us today. Most definitely, you're not alone. So download. I say do it now. Download the ebook. All right, buy the book because you will be encouraged, and that's what we want for you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I need to get you as my marketing person, Kanaya. Right. So thank you again to each and every one of you that are listening to us today. Again, help us get to Amazon bestseller by downloading our ebook Kindle version today. And of course, if you're catching the replay, you still have time to download our book. You can just do #replay. And hopefully today you have learned something, right? Or some about an illness or an awareness or how you can do self-care for yourself as well. And most importantly, knowing that if you are living with, it doesn't even have to be invisible illness, right? If you are living with an illness, you are not alone. You have a platform worth of individuals who will support you. Surround yourself with friends and family who will support you and guide you along the way. No need to sit in your rooms or your homes by yourself and get into depression, right? We are here to support you in any way that we can. Definitely by purchasing our book, you will hear the stories and the triumph stories from these amazing 17 co-authors and myself. And hopefully you will be able to enjoy reading this book. Again, download our ebook version. And if nothing else, ladies, I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. And again, from the bottom of my heart, Thank you all so much for joining me in sharing your stories. And this is not the last time. Remember, we're still going to be visible. We still have podcasts, magazines. We got things coming up. So this is not the last time we're going to be doing something with each other. I cannot wait for our next project and the next things that we're going to be doing together. So I wish you guys an amazing rest of your day, and we will be together soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.